Hello beautiful people, I am Matilda Chungu. Welcome to my channel where we discuss business, ideas and everything in between. And as you saw from the thumbnail, we are discussing money. Decided to start a business, you have done your research, you know the area you want to invest in, and now the homework you have is getting financing for your small business. So my video today is here to tackle that question. I will give you certain ideas, certain areas that I've looked into that I think are beneficial and affordable ways of financing your business. Don't mind the book if you can see it in the frame. I had to make sure I research and get all the information and just kind of remind myself. I didn't want to have blank moments. So one of the ways you can finance your business, which is a bit obvious of course, is through commercial banks or your financial provider. So this one comes a bit, we know about this one. You get to the bank, you apply for a loan. But if you're starting a new business, it's not the easiest of things because there's a lot of documentation required. They need your financial statements, they need your business plan, and you need collateral, which is pretty obvious. However, sometimes not everybody has access to titled property or even any fixed assets of that kind. So it could be a bit challenging for you, especially if you're starting out. I wouldn't even advise you to get a loan from a bank when you're starting out because you're still testing the waters and you kind of want to know where your business is going to go, because sometimes when you start a business it takes a different direction and you want to allow your business to do that so that it kind of evolves and takes a life of its own. So sometimes when you go to a bank, you find that they cannot give you with your new business a loan. However, you as an individual qualify for a loan, so you can get that loan in your capacity as you, and you finance your business. So you can finance your business through your personal financing, through your loan that you get from the bank, or your savings that you have saved up. I mean, if you have saved up a lot of money or enough money for a business, I think you'd rather take that gamble on yourself. The best investment you can make is in yourself, because you know yourself, and even if you make a mistake, just be patient with yourself and love on yourself. So the other way of financing your business is through government assistance. This one is kind of my favorite right now because looking into the environment we are in, the government right now has given out, is actually dishing out assistance to a lot of citizens. There's a lot of write-up on this. One of them that was done earlier when the COVID-19 came and the government was trying to cushion the impact is the 10 million kwacha stimulus package that is available for all of us to apply. And I just want to tell you, those that are in certain priority sectors like agriculture, mining, energy, manufacturing and tourism, I think those are priority sectors for the government. So they've actually given out this money with the understanding that 60% of it should be taken directly to those areas to kind of jumpstart the economy. They believe that those are areas that are good for the economy and they can really bring back investment, bring back money and all of those good things. So 40% goes to other areas, 60% goes to the priority areas, which is awesome. So if you're in those priority areas, you might want to jump on board because you will be given without too much hassle. The next government assistance that's available or was available, the deadline passed, was the aquaculture seed fund that was being given by the CEC. I think this one was amazing. The government had, before I forget, the government had 29 million kwacha, actually 29 million US dollars available to the citizens, available to us to apply for a loan and get this funding and start your fishing farm, your fish farming, or whichever part of the value chain you are in the fish industry. So I think this was amazing. I actually heard about this one when it was almost, I heard of it but didn't hear of it. So I applied in the dying days of it and I'm so glad I did. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? So I applied for it and I'll encourage other people to apply for it as well. Okay, the next one. Yeah, so this one was available. Unfortunately, the deadline passed as of the recording of this video. So the other one that the government has actually made available is the Multi-Sectoral Approach Youth Empowerment Program. The deadline for this one is the end of September, so you still have a couple of days to do this one. And one thing I also want to mention is most of the government assistance is also particularly interested in women, youth, and the differently abled. So if you're in one of those categories, this is your chance. You are in the priority sector or priority category, so you might make use of this opportunity. The other one that was recently launched in Luapula was the Citizens Entrepreneurship Development Program, and this one aims to help out 1.2 million citizens across the country. I think this one's really amazing. I was reading an article on it and I saw these details and I was like, okay, that's a lot of people. I don't even know if we have as many formal jobs as the number of people this program is out to help. And I'm really curious to see how many people get the assistance from this program. I think that's a lot of people, and it would be amazing for each one of us to just jump right in. So remember, all these programs I've mentioned are actually for the government. They're actually startup capital. So if you're starting your business now, even if you've been running your business for some time, but I just want to mention that it's startup capital as well, because sometimes to start your business, it's a bit hard to get that money. So it's startup capital, and of course the sector, the priority sectors, as I mentioned earlier: agriculture, mining, energy, tourism, manufacturing, and angel investors. So sometimes angel investors are people that will invest in your business, whether they believe in your business or they just like you and they want to see you win. These are people that are maybe like your friends, your family. I don't know if strangers fit in there, but if you get a stranger to invest because they just want to see you win, or they just want to help out, and sometimes I would ask for a stake in your company, or they'll just say, you know, pay back the money plus this interest, all those things. Or some would just say pay back the money only, pay back the principal only. So this one is also good. I'll just advise that you kind of get to know what the terms and the conditions of each investor is, so that when they give you the money, you know what they expect from you, and also you have communicated what it is you want from them and what it is you can give them in exchange for the money, or whatever it is. So just make sure beginning of this, before you get the money, you kind of hash out all those issues about what it is they want and what it is you can give them for that money. So the next thing is, which is one of my favorite, because I think it's kind of underplayed or not talked about so much, or maybe I haven't heard it being spoken of so much. I think Chilimba is also an amazing source of funding. I don't know if Chilimba is English, but I don't even know the other name for Chilimba in any other language. I just know it as Chilimba. So Chilimba, I think, is a great opportunity to get financing. If you belong to one, kind of see it in a different perspective as well. I know of business people that have thrived because of Chilimba. Ideally, what happens with Chilimba is you have a group of people, maybe like 4 or 5, depending on the intervals, like how often are you going to be doing this. You might want to control that number, but the largest I've seen in a 1 month, in a 30-day interval, is 8 people. But I think for such, I would advise 4 people would be good, because in a year you would get your money like twice. So what happens with Chilimba is you're a group of people, let's say you have 5 friends, right? So each one of you maybe gives 1,000 to one of you. So this one that gets a 1,000, sorry, I'm going to use my fingers. This one that gets a 1,000 is, this one is the one getting the money that month. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will give this one a 1,000 on top of the money they already have in the personal account or whatever. So then the following month, everybody gives person number 2, after that person number 3, after that person number 4, so just like that. So it's kind of like a revolving fund, I think. Yeah. So you make this money available, and each one has an opportunity to really kind of invest or do whatever it is they feel they need to with that money, because I would hear people saying it's helped me purchase, make big purchases that I ordinarily wouldn't have, and all those things. So it's a good source of financing. However, the problem with this one is you don't have access to huge sums of money. So because it's done at a social setting where you are kind of in the same economic status, so according to that, that's how much money that is shared out. So some people do get as high as 50,000, some people 100,000, but you won't get super big money that the bank can provide you. But I still think for a starting business, a small business, I think these figures are still really okay. The other source of financing that I think is also good for a small business and also for yourself if you want is village banking. I think it's really amazing, and all you have to do is belong to a village banking group, and you save money every month, and based on the amount of money you've saved, you're allowed to borrow X amount of money. For example, from the groups that I know of, if you save, for instance, a 5,000 kwacha, you are entitled to borrow up to 15,000 kwacha. And depending on the conditions and terms of each group, you will know the time period that you have to pay it back. So the beauty of that, yes, there's a minimal charge, but it's not as high. Village banking has the ability to allow you to have access to cheap money at a low interest rate. So sometimes it can be 10% for a quarter or 10% for 6 months. So it really depends on each group. Each group has a different and unique set of rules and guidelines. So you really need to read that and get familiar with it and check if it's something that you want to do and something that you believe in, so that it works for you and you also work for the group. The group benefits and you benefit. The beauty with the interest rate in village banking groups is at the end of the cycle, which most often is 12 months, at the end of it you get a cut of that interest. To also remind you that village banking group as well as Chilimba is about the network, your friends, your network that you have. And if you don't have friends you can make money moves with, I suggest you widen your network, because it is about a circle of trust. So these are also ways that you can finance your business. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was beneficial. I'll try as much as possible to put the information that I've stated, especially concerning government assistance, in the description below. However, I would really appreciate it if you could share this video, like and subscribe, and encourage somebody that's looking for money, looking for financing, looking to start a business. Encourage them, let them watch this video, and let's do this thing. Thank you guys. Bye bye.